My kid comes into me the other day. He said, Dad, I'm fed up. I said, what? He said, I'm fed up, Dad. I got nobody to play with. He said, Johnny's gone in having his dinner. Edgar's gone on his holidays. Arthur got a baddie. He said, I'm fed up. I said, what do you mean you're fed up? I said, you've got an Atari home computer. You've got Star Wars videos. You've got your own TV set in your bedroom. You've got a grifter. Roller skates. What more do you want? He said, yeah, but Dad, I'm bored. I said, bored? That's about 1,500 quid's worth of gear. I said, well, why don't you make your own fun? He said, what? I said, entertain yourself. He said, oh, do you mean, Dad? I said, well, like we used to when we were kids. We never had none of this rubbish. We just had to make the best of it. I said, I'll tell you all about it, look. We had pop bolly bottles and bogey cars, pocketing money from old jam jars, rag and bone men picking up junk, swimming in the warmies without any trunks, swinging on a lamp on the corner of the street, singing on a lorry at the Whitsun treat, up along Cassidy and old Tom Mix at the Saturday morning flicks. He said, that's remarkable, Dad. I've never heard of any of them things. Tell me more. I should have a listen to this. We had camping knives and khaki shorts, magic string for curing warts, coppers on bikes and old steam trains, losing your best blood alleys down drains, rat-a-tat ginger and touch off grown, threepenny bits and big half crowns, blackberry picking with your hands all red, and chickens in the shed. He said, it sounds fab, Dad. I said, listen to this. You haven't seen nothing. There was ginger beer with too much fizz, great big wooden wirelesses, wondering why your mother started joining in games, like lying on the floor when the rent man came, nicking in the match for the last half hour, nobbing for apples that were always sour, winning races, losing fights, and baths on Friday nights. And there was fishing for tatters on the old stone bridge. We all had pantries, no one had a fridge. If a car wouldn't start, you could always crank it. Camping out the back in an army blanket, striped snake belts and Sunday suits, bread and dripping and licorice roots. Dan, Dare and Desperate Dan, and the salt and vinegar man. And we had pop bolly bottles and bogey cars, pocket money from old jam jars, rag and bone men picking up junk, swimming in a warmies without any trunks. We were swinging from a lamp on the corner of the street, singing on a lorry at the Whitsun treat, up along Cassidy and old Tom Mix at the Saturday morning flicks. No, don't tell me you're bored, all right?